I made over $5 million online using credit cards. It is the one secret I learned to actually get rich. Most people are using credit cards wrong. People are buying expensive clothes, expensive watches, expensive cars, or things that are making them $0. So if you want to learn how to start leveraging credit correctly and avoid getting into bad debt, I want you to watch this video right now. I help thousands of other people leverage this exact same system to make hundreds of thousands of dollars online. So in this video, I'm gonna break down different ways you can leverage credit, which ones you need to absolutely avoid, and which ones that are great opportunities that won't last forever. My name is Rios. I've turned $300,000 in credit into multiple seven-figure businesses online within the last 5 years. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So I'm gonna start ranking these by certain criteria. S tier being the best and F tier being the absolute worst. And then I'm going to explain the pros and cons of each. Building a business. It all depends on the type of business that you choose to invest to, because again, businesses are not a one-size-fits-all type of game. Given your current situation, for a young teenager, I would recommend reselling. Why? It takes the lowest amount of capital, has the highest leverage opportunity to be able to get your foot in without leveraging too much credit or too much money, and doesn't require much time. Or marketing. So choosing the right business all comes down to your opportunity cost. Which ones can you commit to that require less amount of time, the less amount of stress, the most amount of opportunity, given your current situation? But using credit to fund businesses, given your current situation, that allow you to open that opportunity will create more opportunities that open doors and allow you to leverage credit to make more money. And for that reason, given my personal experience, I'm putting building a business using credit in the S tier. Number 2, travel hacking. I am putting this in S tier. If there's another tier I can put on top of S tier, that would go above S tier, but we're putting this in S tier. Why would you want to pay full price for travel? Credit in general can fund any of your travel for free. If you're gonna be spending credit to fund your food, to fund your expenses, business expenses, or your personal expenses, you're gonna pay the credit back, obviously. Why not get rewarded for it? Banks give you an incentive to spend money using their credit. In this case, they give you credit card points and cash back. I choose credit card points over cash back, but again, it's up to you. That's the reason why I've been able to travel to over 10 countries for free. I went to Colombia, Japan, Hawaii, etc. In the middle of this year, I'm going to Europe, and then I'm going to Dubai. And it's all because the banks are paying for this. And the thing is that every single time I travel, I actually end up finding new ways to be able to leverage credit to travel for free. And I actually end up posting every single one of these new strategies inside my community. And the reason why I rank building a business and travel hacking in S tier is because for my given case, if I was spending $80 to $100 a month using my credit cards for my Amazon business, not only was I making money, but from the money that I was making by leveraging my credit cards, I was also getting 80 to 100,000 points for free, which then I would use to cover my travel expenses. So essentially, all of my flights were anywhere between 90 to 100% off the entire price. So in this case, it made perfect sense for me to be able to use credit to invest into my business and to use credit to use it for free travel. So I got the best of both worlds. And this is the reason why I rank both of them S tier. Number 3, buying luxury items. But again, luxury comes in all different shapes and sizes. When people think of luxury goods, they think of Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Balenciaga. That stuff is an F, but personally, I'm gonna rank this in the C tier. But why the C tier? Some luxury items, if you know what you're buying, actually holds its value. But if you're buying stuff like Gucci, Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, most of those things have $0 of value outside of their own luxury marketplace. People aren't willing to pay top dollar for them. Instead, if you buy something like a Rolls Royce or a nice Rolex watch or a nice piece of art or a nice house, those things hold its value. But I rank it C tier because again, it's a pick and choose game. Not everything will hold its value, and the majority of luxury items actually don't hold its value. So the majority of luxury items that people are normally buying, people lose money on them. And the reason why I mentioned in the beginning of the video that most people are using credit incorrectly is simply because of this example. People are buying things that don't make them any money, and they're putting their cash into assets they don't really understand that have no value. So the number one way to go broke is to use cash, especially if it's not yours, into things that don't make any money, because you are left with the debt at the end of the day. So if you don't have the money, you don't have the income, and you don't have any assets to support any one of your debts, then don't be spending money on things that you can't afford. So basically, more of the story is don't be fucking stupid. Post-secondary education. This is for people who are going to college to go get a degree, but are actually using debt to get their degree. Some careers like lawyers, doctors, etc. are all really, really good careers because they actually have real world demand. But there's other people who are going into gender studies or historical shit, and they're not even able to find a job. You have to be able to leverage your debt correctly. That's going to give you the best possible ROI with not only your time, but your effort and your money to be able to find a job after you graduate college. So a lot of people, the stats do not lie, are in debt, can't find a job because of the poor careers that they have chosen. And for that reason, I am putting post-secondary education, going to universities, in the C tier. But what about online courses? Again, my personal opinion, because it goes exactly right into college and universities, is online courses also ranks in the C tier. But why is that? Well, with online courses, it all just depends on what exactly you are learning and from who. It is the same system as college education. You go to these top prestigious colleges because of their perceived status and their perceived knowledge, so that way people can come and vet you for your experience and skills by coming from a prestigious college. But online courses, it's essentially the same thing, except that people don't know where you are learning from. But obviously, you are paying for an online course to be able to build the skills required to be able to enter that specific marketplace or that specific occupation. So given that a lot of online courses are actually scams, and there's a very select few who actually know what they're saying and know the education that they have to teach them in order to prepare their students, I am ranking this in the C tier. If we lived in the perfect world in which every guru who was selling an online education course was actually a proof of concept of what they said and actually had results to back it up, I would personally rank it in the A tier. Why? Because I have personally bought courses that spent over $50,000 on courses and has actually helped me to use it to leverage my own business and my own 7-figure companies to be able to grow more, scale more efficiently, faster, and cheaper. And number 5, the wealth transfer, right? So this is a technique, if you are new here, that involves you putting your existing cash into appreciating assets. So these are things like stocks, real estate, crypto, etc., right? These assets come in multiple shapes and sizes, but at the end of the day, the moral of the story is just putting your cash into appreciating assets. Everybody here knows that crypto's a fucking scam. Fuck crypto, I lost money, fuck you, I'm done. This is mostly targeted for entrepreneurs who already have an existing cash flowing business and just want to park their wealth into appreciating assets without being worried of losing money or the headache of being able to run a business with all this time, effort, and commitment required. So for me personally, I'm ranking this A tier. I personally bought over 10 properties last year, and I'm in the process of trying to build that generational wealth, but again, building a brick at a time. So I'm speaking in this as somebody with experience who already has cash flow, but I'm not ranking this S tier. And I'm not ranking this either to tell people who are beginners to get into this specific wealth transfer type of model if you don't have an existing cash flowing business to support that dream. And unfortunately, I had to learn this the hard way because unlike many of you who probably have watched other videos, you probably see these other stock gurus promising you that you're gonna get rich off investing stocks.
Y'all are fucking crazy, bro! $1 million market cap! 1.5, oh my God!
So if you're a dumbass like me, when I was 4 or 5 years ago when I was trying to get rich online, I put $1,000 into this stock went up 10%, and I only made $100. You're telling me I waited 2 weeks to make $100 and this was my way to get rich? Fuck no. That's an extremely long time to actually get rich. So I had to find another model that's gonna allow me to make money faster. So if you're somebody who is looking to put $10,000 into an appreciating asset, it may or may not work, but just know you will get a better ROI with your $10,000 than you would put it into a traditional cash flowing business over a wealth transfer technique where you are putting it into an appreciating real estate property or stocks, etc. You are getting a way better ROI with your money going the traditional business route or the traditional education route because you'll get there shorter, faster, and more efficient. And these are just the one of many ways that I've tried to leverage credit, and some worked to my favor, some didn't, some speaking from personal experience, but I hope by the end of this video you learned a little bit more about credit. So if you want to learn a little bit more about how I'm currently leveraging credit and how thousands of other people are also leveraging credit to create sustainable cash flowing businesses, I would drop a free program down in this link. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. In my YouTube channel, I'm going to teach more about different ways to leverage credit, how to actually build wealth from scratch, and other ways that you can actually legally cheat the system.